going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Hard Count. I'm hosting, as always, the man to my right. Even though I can never get it right because the camera is flip flopped, but the man to my right, CJ, my co-host, as always. What's going on there, brother? How we doing?
What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
Like I said before, we live in the dream out here, CJ. What's going on with you, brother?
Man, all is well, bro. All is well. Ready to talk some football. A lot to talk about.
Yes, sir. The week 5 of the NFL definitely gave us some big news, to say the least. A lot of good
Man,
games. We got some storylines developing, obviously. And speaking of those storylines, I mean, obviously, we usually jump right into the games around here, as you guys can tell, who frequently stop by the show. And speaking of stopping by the show, I always got to get this out the way. We can't see your comments anymore over on the Twitter side, people. And we love interacting with everybody. So make sure you head over to the Unwrapped YouTube channel. Give us, a nice little sub. We're only 3 subscribers away from 100 over there. So we can use those last 3 subs to push us over the top. Or, you can go over to the Twitch, my Twitch, Anthony_Conover, or the Unwrapped Sports Twitch, and go follow over there as well so we can see your comments. We love interacting with you guys. Like I said, it makes this show a lot easier, let me tell you. When we got some people to talk to other than each other, even though CJ, we do a fantastic job, but we like the interaction with the people.
That's a fact, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe on YouTube. Just like Connie said, man, trying to get to that hundo. Very important. Put the notifications on every time we go live. Very important for the interactions, man, so we can get this podcast up where it should be.
Yes, sir. But like I said before, we usually jump right into the news with, breaking down the games and everything. But I feel like that almost all got overshadowed with the Jon Gruden situation. And CJ obviously didn't talk to you before this about, everything that was going on. But, we kind of joked about it last week, that Gruden, said some bad things, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's gone now. It's totally different than he just said a few bad things. The man is out of there. Obviously, all the emails came out. If there's a bad thing you can say, he probably said it. I mean, there was racial stuff, there was homophobic stuff, there was sexist stuff. I mean, it literally went down the list of not to dos in life, and his entire NFL career, in my opinion, I don't think it's that much of a hot take. It's probably over. You obviously can't hire him at ESPN anymore. That's owned by Disney. That's owned by Disney. So I don't think that they're gonna allow.
That's the woke place. So you definitely can't go there, man. So
I don't even think Fox is gonna touch him. They usually pick up the ESPN scraps, but that's a lot to ask for. And then the NFL. You can't touch him. In fact, the Bucks taking that man straight out of the Ring of Honor, straight out.
Wow.
So they released that statement today. Wow. Obviously, the Raiders released their statement. Gruden released his statement. Everybody's talking back and forth. But CJ, I just want to get your overall thoughts and opinions on it. Obviously, I can't speak to all terms of it. I can I can speak towards the sexist stuff, the homophobic stuff, because I can understand that a little bit more, I guess. But he said some very racial things, and obviously you would be able to speak on that better than I can. So I just wanted to let you have that, and any thoughts you had on the whole situation if you saw everything that went down.
It's just an unfortunate situation. First off, you just gotta watch out what you say. Period. You get caught up saying things in certain areas, sending emails that's from the NFL. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of that stuff is documented and saved. So who knows who's saying what, behind closed doors. For me, I know a lot of people out here, a lot of people today, want to be activists and things like that. But to me, it's just bad decision making at the end of the day. When you make poor choices, that's what's going to happen. And, he said some things that obviously are going to offend a lot of people. Me personally, I'm not really offended by it. I kind of grew up out of the fact that being offended by some words by people, regardless of what you look like. Um, to me, words are nothing, And if you act on the words from violence and things like that, then that's just, again, poor decision making. That's two wrongs don't make it right. And for me, I just it just, again, it just sucks for him. I don't feel bad for him. Still made a lot of money. He made $40 million in 4 years being a head coach of the Vegas Raiders. So I mean, it's just what happens, man. It's just what happens. This is a new world that we live in. It's a new world that we live in. Looking at some of the comments, some of those comments are probably what a lot of people feel. Like I said, I wasn't really offended by it at all. I mean, what he said about DeMaurice Smith. Some people do look at it as racist and things like that. To me, I didn't really see it that way. I didn't see it as racist, but just a collection of everything with all the emails coming out. And, that was just, and the times that we're in, especially the NFL, they're trying to be, super woke. They're trying to speak to the players. They want to make sure, especially after everything that happened with Kaepernick, they want to make sure they're on the player's side. So you can't, this couldn't fly. And ultimately, he, was the byproduct of that. And again, just watch what you say. Watch what you say to anybody. You never know. Some people.
Nothing's private.
Nothing's private, man. You never know. Some people may have some vendettas against you. What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Because, you think about it, CJ, this was not an investigation into Jon Gruden.
Right.
Like, all of this stuff came out because they were still looking at the Washington football team, situation where it was such a bad workplace environment. And then these emails kind of just came out. But,
it was weird how they just came out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because, and I didn't think about it this way because I kind of forgot about it. But, just listening to all the sports radio and talk shows, that I did today, it feels like, listen, like you said, can't feel bad for him. Jon Gruden, you're a garbage human being, obviously, all the things that he said. But you think about it, I think the NFL wanted to get him out for a very long time. He was always anti-NFL. He always, he was always criticizing them, always saying things about them. And then they brought him back as a coach. Obviously, the Raiders did. And I think ever since then, they've been trying to kick him out of the door. And to think that Gruden is the only one out of, I think there was 650,000 emails sent. And Gruden is the only one that's saying something. I think you're kind of throwing chum to the crowd with Gruden. I think that there's definitely some other stuff in there. And I think it's a lot easier to fire a coach like what the Raiders did than to get somebody to sell the team, which is what Dan Snyder would have to do with Washington. Because people have wanted him to sell the team forever. They obviously looked into all these allegations and stuff, and nothing has happened yet. So I find it very curious that it was just Gruden that got thrown to the fans for being this way. But whatever.
This investigation was supposed to be so honestly, a lot of people forgot about it. A lot of people forgot about the investigation. And then I guess through, people going in through emails with I think it's Bruce Allen or Paul. I think it might be Bruce Allen, former executive with the Washington football team. He had a great relationship with John. And remember, Jay was the head coach over there for a little bit, for a few years. So,
CJ, here's the other thing you just said, because I kind of forgot about this too. You mentioned Jay Gruden. I was listening today. You know that this whole investigation that they've had, now remember, Jay Gruden was the head coach of Washington for 5 years. They never interviewed him. So how are you going to have an investigation into a bad working environment and you didn't interview the head coach of the team that you're investigating that was there for 5 years?
It's a lot of shady stuff. The
NFL knows what they're doing, man. Because CJ, the other thing I didn't know, the day that the NFL released the statement that Gruden made about DeMaurice Smith was the day that the players had to vote on if they wanted to keep him.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's all lined up, man. It's all lined up. And
Like who? What are the
honestly,
odds?
to me, I didn't think DeMar Swift was that great of a
No,
player rep for the
he's
Union.
gotten destroyed in every single CBA negotiation. The
CBA,
NFL
exactly.
loves him. The NFL loves
Right,
him.
right, exactly. And granted, they were able to get I think it was a 52-48 revenue split or something like that. But then that doesn't. I don't think that speaks to the streaming numbers. We don't know what's going on with those numbers. Now everything is transitioning into streams and things like that. We don't know what percentage the players get out of that. There's so many things we don't know. And like I said, if usually for a union, they're pro. They're not with the establishment or the organization. So it's just weird. It's just weird, man. Obviously, the NFL they don't like change. They don't like too much change. They don't like too much change, and I think the players. I think did he get reelected?
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah. See, so it's just like again. I mean, at the end of the day, that only hurts the players. In all actuality, I've seen many players. I've seen Tom, say some things about the union, say some things about certain things about the NFLPA and how things are ran over there. I've
They
seen
might
some
have
other
the
players.
worst. They might have the worst players' association of the four major sports.
Yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there. I mean, I don't know too much about MLB. Obviously, you can speak to the MLB, and yeah, you can speak to MLB. NBA is, they've had their, issues, and I think Kyrie is one of those vice president or something like that. And but for the NBA, but just going back to the NFL, yeah, everything's lined up, man. Everything happens for a reason. These things just don't come out of the blue. And the New York Times don't just get this out of nowhere. Somebody gave them this information. I'm pretty sure NFL source gave, or somebody involved in the investigation with the NFL's okay, of course, leak those emails, and who knows what else is out there in regards to that investigation. There was so many things back a couple of years ago involving that situation with misconduct and things of that nature. So, is this the end? We only know what the NFL will allow us to know.
You're absolutely right.
It's that simple.
They definitely know what they're doing. They get paid a lot of money for a reason, to say the least. But with all that being said, let's get into NFL Week 5, a fantastic football week. It was just unbelievable from game 1 to the last game, obviously, yesterday. But obviously, we started off with the Thursday. Oh, wait, CJ, all right, I got a question for you.
Let's start off with the Monday night.
You want to start with the Monday?
Yeah, let's start with the Monday night one, then we reverse it.
All right, say no more. And I got a question for you, CJ. You want to know your records from last week?
Yeah, what's my record?
Or you want to wait? Or you want to wait until we do the predictions for next week?
All right, let's wait till next week.
All right, we'll wait.
Let's wait till later. Yeah.
All right, so we'll go in reverse order here, because you're not wrong. This Monday night game was quite something. As we got Michael in here, so what was the investigation unit about? It's been so long, but they took care of Gruden much faster than Washington. The investigation was into Washington and like all the misconduct that they had, bad working environment and things of that nature. And I guess this was just a casualty of the process.
Yeah, I think there was a woman a few years ago. I think she accused one of the executive members of like sexual assault, sexual harassment, or something like that. That kind of blew up for a little bit. They caught some flack. Daniel Snyder did some things, some shady
cheerleaders were like
cheerleaders, right? Yeah, so I think they just try to group everything together. It's been a real very slow investigation. And again, like I said, the NFL, they're pro owner. At the end of the day, Goodell doesn't work for the players.
No.
He works for the owners. So, things are going to get out. Certain things are not going to get out. We'll see what happens. It's just a matter of who gets the information. Like, it's a matter of who gets that type of information. I remember seeing a while ago Jeff Bezos might try to buy the Washington football team. Ooh. And I looked at that and I was like, they had Snyder. And then after this thing came out, that's when I remember, like, yeah, they're still going through that investigation. So if things definitely turn away, he might have to step down, possibly. Obviously the name change was a big deal as well. People, that was going on for a while, pretty much for over the last decade or so. And ultimately, they got pressured into changing the name. So it's tough times over there.
I wonder if Bezos will be allowed to buy the Washington football team, because I've also heard, and I don't know if it would affect it. Obviously, like I said, I'm curious about it, because apparently Amazon wants to try and buy the rights of the NFL Sunday Ticket instead of it just being a DirecTV exclusive. So that could be interesting as well. And you know what? Listen,
he stepped down a little bit, didn't he? Didn't he relinquish some of his power at Amazon?
I think so.
Like so yeah,
but I'm just saying, I wonder if he would be allowed to buy Washington if they, because I mean he's still involved, I would imagine.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. Listen, I'm not a business major out here, am I? But I guess we go back to football, and like you said, we're going to start with the Monday night game, because what a comeback from Lamar and the Ravens. I believe they were down 19 at one point. CJ, I'll give you the floor on this one. It's your idea to start from reverse, so let me give you the floor.
We're going to start off the game. It was a really, really slow, like days ago offense by the Ravens, a couple 3-and-outs. It was some moments where Lamar could have got away and got some first downs, just weren't able to get it going, had some drop passes. The Colts really, really came out with that 76-yard touchdown, Jonathan Taylor off the swing pass. That really set the tone to start the game and had people watching, had people going. And it looked like it was going to be a blowout for sure. And, that second half came around. I think Lamar settled in. I think the rest of that offense settled in. And they got down the field. That fumble where he was literally like a centimeter away from his knee being down and then lost the ball. They took it to the crib. So many things were going wrong for the Ravens, but they were able to battle through. John Harbaugh said something in his post-game speech. He was like, they had faith, and that's exactly what they had. They had faith in that game. They believed. They made some big-time plays. Calais Campbell had big time play, had that blocking the field goal. Blankenship just didn't have it going. They were saying he had like a hip issue, and I think Adam Schefter reported that at halftime. That Blankenship was struggling with a hip issue, so obviously that's key when you're a kicker. I mean, you need that range of motion in order to generate some power, and that was probably in his mental, which led to some missed field goals and things like that, missed PATs. But Lamar's special, bro. I mean, like I said, I put it in my story earlier. I was like, if he just has some solid weapons that make some plays, it's gonna be tough to stop him, man. I think for me, the one thing I liked out of him in this game was he took the singles. He didn't just try to go for the home run play. He took the singles, he took the doubles, took what the defense gave him. I think a lot of teams they like to play zone against him and try to mix it up and have him confused in there. Hopefully they could get to Lamar and keep him in the pocket so he doesn't roll out. I think zone, they want to do zone so they can have some spies up if he tries to roll out and use his feet. But he settled in the pocket. He used his feet. He made some very accurate passes. That big deep pass off the sluggo route to Hollywood Brown, that was a big-time play. That was one of the turning points of the game. And, he's an excellent football player, bro. I mean, I know you and then Matt saying that he peaked and things like that. I just said, it's just tough to say. It's just tough to say. And because you just haven't seen him with some elite weapons. We talked about this last week. We talked about these young quarterbacks. We're probably going to talk more in depth about these young quarterbacks as we go through the schedule. They have talented guys around them, and who's to say those guys put up those type of numbers without those guys? Josh Allen took a big step as soon as they got Diggs. Mahomes was, obviously Kelsey and Tyreek. They weren't at the level that they are now. But they were definitely established. They were definitely well known when Mahomes took the helm as a quarterback. Mike Williams coming in having a big year this year. But Keenan Allen's been proven. He back when they had Phillips. So you need weapons around those guys. Kyler, same thing. AJ Green, D Hop. You need weapons around those guys. You look at Mark Andrews had a struggle last year, had a big time year the year before in his rookie season. Hollywood Brown played well also. So, they look good. They still have a lot of guys still have a lot of guys injured. Just imagine if they had J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards running the football. How would you be able to stop this team? So you got to give them credit. They battled through. They needed this W, The AFC North is extremely tough. You need every single game, and it looks like the Steelers could probably win a couple here, especially when they're going up against Seattle on Sunday night with Geno Smith. That should be a W for them. So they're creeping up a little bit if they could get some W's. So it's a very important win by the Ravens. And like I said, Lamar, bro, he's one of the top guys, one of those top AFC quarterbacks that we've been talking about, for the last month or so for the season to start. Already has the MVP, and now it's just up for him to continue to improve that well into the playoffs, try to get that bowl.
Yeah, this was impressive. This was definitely Lamar's best game of his career. I mean, that's not opinion. I think you look at the numbers, it tells you the same story as well. 37 to 43. Obviously, the big thing with him is usually his accuracy. And, some of those incompletions were him. But, I mean, when you go 37 to 43, you're not really going to sit here and talk about accuracy on, 2 throws. Not everybody's going to go – nobody's going 43 or 43. So you're not going to make every single throw. The greatest quarterbacks in the history of the world aren't making every single throw. So that was very impressive. 442 yards. That was the most of his career. He had the 4 touchdowns. Also carried the ball 14 times, 62 yards. And he was literally their entire offense. I believe he had 504 total yards, if I'm not mistaken. And the Ravens as a team had 523. So that's
what I'm saying, bro. Like
that is definitely next level stuff right there.
He's carrying, bro. He's really carrying the offense, bro. Without him, they're a lottery team.
And then you look at Mark Andrews, like you said, he had 11 catches, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is what you want to see out of Mark Andrews. This is what he's capable of, and I wish that he would be more consistent with it. I think he's not in the game plan enough, almost, or it's also could be the fact that he's in the game plan so much, and since they don't really have the other weapons, obviously teams look at him and try to take him away. And then Hollywood Brown, those 9 catches, 125 yards, had the touchdown late in the fourth quarter, and then the touchdown in overtime as well.
Clutch.
So, yeah, and the problem with him all year has been drops. So it was impressive to see him, come through when they really needed him most. The only thing that you can really say about the Ravens is they're very – it freaks me out a little bit, because Lamar is very good. And they're almost too dependent on him. It reminds me of like the Cam Newton Panther years, where it was like if Cam didn't do something, nothing was happening. And I don't think, and maybe they'll prove me wrong, I don't think you can win like that. I think you need to have a team to be able to do it. And obviously, like you said, when Bateman comes back, we'll see what the offense does, because that'll add a big weapon to them. Obviously, they're big draft pick this year. Maybe that opens things up for Hollywood. It opens up things for Mark Andrews. But being so dependent on Lamar gets a little scary, because he is a running quarterback. You have to remember that. So after a while, those hits are going to add up. You're bound to tweak an ankle at some point. And obviously, you never wish anything upon anybody. But in the NFL, it seems to happen more often than not. So it's definitely something to look forward to, because, I mean, like you said, or like I said, 504 yards is unbelievable, but that's not what you want. Like, it's a cool stat line and everything like that. You're playing fantasy, you're losing your mind, but your quarterback having 504 yards out of the 523 of your team, that is not what you should be looking for every week, because after a while, that's going to give out.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, man. That's what I'm saying. Like he's out here carrying the whole squad, bro. It's really remarkable to see, to be honest. And they're gonna. You're right. You're absolutely right. They can't win this way in terms of going to the playoffs. They're a little too Lamar centric, like you said. But they had some injuries. So I don't know what happens when Le'Veon, gets healthy, gets activated, then get called up maybe in a week or so. He gets into this lineup. Maybe he could change some things in the backfield. Devontae Freeman had some good moments here and there. Tyshawn Williams had some good moments as well. But they're going to need another playmaker in terms, especially running the ball. That's still their identity. But if teams are going to play zone all day and they're going to play too high, which is what they did, and put a spy up, he's going to have to pick them apart. And I think he did a great job of that last night.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit too. Is I feel like the Colts just had the wrong game plan when they got up. Like, you had to keep playing the way that got you to the lead you had, and I feel like once they got that big lead, they sat back. They're like, okay, well, we'll let you gain all these yards. We'll do whatever. I mean, we still have the lead, so we're all right. And obviously, that blocked field goal is a big turning point because that kills everything that you've been doing up to that point. But I just feel like that they played it wrong. That they should have, kept their foot on the pedal. And I mean, this might have been the best Wentz has looked in the past 3 years. 25 or 35, 402 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor had a great game. Had 15 carries for 53 yards in the touchdown, but I mean, on the receiving end, he had 3 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Obviously, most of those yards came from that swing pass, like you said, that he took 76 yards to the house. But I feel like this – I put more of the – obviously, this is a great comeback by Lamar and the Ravens, but I also put a lot of blame not on the Colts players, but on the coaching staff, because I feel like when they got that lead, they were like, oh, okay, let's calm down. Let's not do anything yet.
Yeah, defensively – I mean, their secondary kind of got depleted, so it's going to be tough to play man, and then it's tough to play man anyway against the Ravens because again, Lamar's that factor, and if you got the safeties and the DBs, turning their back to Lamar, if he's able to get in that secondary, he could take it to the crib too. So what they wanted to do when they with the lead, they wanted to make Lamar a passer. They wanted to try to stop the run, and they kind of did. They stopped the run. Really, the run really wasn't that effective outside of Lamar, like you said, in terms of the total offense. That he accumulated last night, and they wanted to make him a passer, and he had to make plays in the pocket, and that's what he did. He did what he took what the defense gave him. He didn't try to do too much, and it led to their success. On offense, they could have definitely been a little bit more aggressive from the coach standpoint. Again,
I hate playing for field goals. I hate when teams do that. Like, I don't care how much you're up by; it's the NFL. Things can happen. That last possession by the Colts, you knew that they were playing for a field goal. They didn't care if they scored a touchdown or not. And obviously, if it doesn't get blocked, then you're fine. But it ends up getting blocked, and now you look dumb.
Yeah, and it's a tough loss as well because you look at the Titans. They're right there. You want to probably if you're able to go 2-3, you definitely keep it in a good competition with Tennessee, and they just weren't able to do that. We'll see if they're able to battle back. But like you said, Carson Wentz had a great game. I just think a little things here and there could definitely keep them right. But there was definitely, if moral victories in the NFL, obviously you only get 16 of these, 17 of these. So, but Carson Wentz did have a great game, but just Lamar's just better. It just comes down to that, bro. Lamar's just that guy, bro. And superstars are gonna, now you've got one quarterback over there that's good, that can have a great game. And you got a superstar that almost all the time has great games and carries that team. You're always going to go with the latter. So,
yeah, and then we'll move on from there to the game that I was most looking forward to at the beginning of the week, and it turned out to not be so much. And this is the game that I think I'm focusing on the most, throughout all the games of this week because I thought it was so important. Bills 38. Chiefs 20. They go into Arrowhead, beat up on the Chiefs, and I think that score tells the truth. It wasn't really close to me at any point. I never really thought the Chiefs were going to win the game. At a certain point, they had that little weird lightning delay in this game as well. That was like an hour long, which obviously threw things off a little bit. But
I almost fell asleep, bro. I was like, "Man, when are they going to start this?" I was like, "When are they going to start the game again? Bro? I'm about to knock."
They kept pushing it back too. They're like, 10:30 we're starting. And they're like, 10:45. Sorry. Right. And they're like, 11:15 is the earliest. I said, "Damn, bro, come on." But looking at this game, and I said it last week, the Chiefs' defense was bad, and I picked the Bills in this game for that very reason. It's panic time. Like, I'm sorry, it is. They're still last in their division, believe it or not. Yes, the Chiefs are dead last. Not for
long. Not
at
Broncos,
all.
Raiders. Could
of course. And the Chiefs' schedule does look like it's going to be lightening up a little bit, just a little bit. But their defense is bad. your boy over here trying to go TikTok famous. I'm just saying. So I made a little video about the Chiefs defense today, and let's just listen to this.
You got some views, man.
I got 209.
That's calm, bro. What's up, saying?
I
see it, bro.
I posted a clip of Gen Z on here too. Got 563. Your boy's working.
You're working, bro. Yeah, I'm not really on the TikTok scene too much, man. You're gonna have to put me on, bro. I'm like a young old head when it comes to that.
Hey, you know what, CJ? Don't you worry. We'll get you all set up. Maybe TikTok famous by Christmas. You feel me?
By Christmas, word. That's a good look. That's a good look. If it's bringing in dollars, that's definitely a good look.
Hey, you know what? Anything for the money, baby.
Thanks.
But I pulled up the stats for the Chiefs defense, CJ. If you had to guess, where do you think? Actually, no. I'll just read them off to you. Yards per game, 31st in the NFL, 437 a game. Rush yards per game, 29th. They're giving up 141. Pass yards, 296 a game, 28th in the NFL. And points per game. You want to take a guess, CJ?
Say dead last.
Dead last. 32.6 points per game. It's not too much to say that they're in trouble now. I think it's a fact. The Chiefs defense isn't bad. It's not good. It's awful. It is literally awful. They're the second worst total defense behind Seattle. And Seattle's on pace to be one of the worst defenses, and not in the NFL, in NFL history. And they're only second to that. So it's definitely panic time for me. And I said this a couple years ago before I was on Unwrapped, and I wish I was in Unwrapped when I said it because I would look so much smarter right now. But I said that the Chiefs better win that Super Bowl against the 49ers because after that it was going to be really tough. And so far, your boy's been right. Because guess what? The first couple years of Mahomes' career, he wasn't playing in the NFL. He was in La La Land. That was not reality. This is the reality of the NFL now. You won your Super Bowl. Guess what? When you win a Super Bowl, everybody wants their money. They were just on a Super Bowl team. So everybody got their money. They signed Tyreek Hill. They gave Mahomes the Brinks truck. They gave Travis Kelce, the keys to Fort Knox. They gave the Honey Badger some money. They gave Frank Clark money. They gave Chris Jones money. You know what happens when you pay few people and don't spread it around? You don't have anything else. Yeah, you have the best tight end. You have the best quarterback probably. You have a top 5 wide receiver probably. You have nothing else. Sorensen, terrible. Chris Jones was out last game. Yeah. Now, tell me, CJ, did the Chiefs ever get pressure in that game one time?
Yeah, nah. Allen was chilling in there, bro.
That man could have cooked a 4-course meal, served it up to his offensive lineman for blocking him, and then thrown the pass. It's unbelievable. And it's not. Most of this is on the defense, but you also have to look at Mahomes too. He has 6 interceptions this year. Doesn't sound anything crazy, whatever. He had 6 all of last year. And you can make mistakes. You can be all fancy, sidearm passes, the no looks, and you can make mistakes doing things like that when your defense is okay, because then they can kind of bail you out. It's there was a turnover, but we're gonna stop for you. Just stop being an idiot, throw an actual pass, and we'll be good. That's not a thing anymore. They can't get the stop after Mahomes turns the ball over. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like all of them are on Mahomes. He threw a perfect pass to Tyreek Hill, went right off of his hands. It looked like he was social distancing with the ball, as I like to say, and it gets turned into an interception.
Shades of John.
So, exactly, shades of John. So not everything is Mahomes' fault, but there's no room for error anymore. Like, welcome to reality. There's no room for error. So it was definitely an interesting game. And then, just to the Bills quickly, listen, I've been on the Josh Allen bandwagon for the last few years. So I feel very good about myself. I was looking at I was right
Vindicated.
I was right again. I'm just saying the things are starting to pile up now. But I mean,
Man.
CJ, you look at his stats too. I think it tells how good of a game he had, but it also tells how bad the Chiefs defense is. He had 15 completions. 15. You know how many yards he had?
Nah, how many yards? Yeah.
315 passing yards. He had 15 completions through 3 touchdowns. He 11 carries for 59 yards and touchdown, hurdled that man, which was one hell of a play.
That's I'll tell you guys, that's gonna be the cover art for the episode. 100%. That's
you know what? I like that. I like that a lot.
It was too easy.
But I mean, it was unbelievable. And then Dawson Knox out here looking like prime Gronk. 3 catches, 117 yards and a touchdown.
Man, I was hating on that man with Nick, bro. I'm looking bad out here, bro. I'm looking bad.
Emmanuel Sanders 3 for 54 and 2 touchdowns, but I think it's very simple to me, and you might disagree with me, CJ. I don't know what other team you're looking at, but I think the Chiefs. I think the Bills are the best team in the NFL. Not in the NFL, in the AFC. Jesus, I'm screwing up too now. And I don't think it's close. Like I really don't think it's close. Their defense has 2 shutouts this year already. Yes, I know 2 of them were against the Dolphins and the Texans. I understand. But they also went into Arrowhead and shut down the Chiefs pretty well. And for all the things I said about the Chiefs defense, their offense is good.
Right.
And I mean, Josh Allen is at playing at an MVP level once again. So I think it's the Bills by a mile. But I talked for about 25 minutes, it seemed like. CJ, I'm sorry. Well, let me give me your thoughts.
Yeah, similar to like I said about Lamar. I mean, Josh Allen's definitely carrying this offense. They don't have a great running game. They try to bring in a couple guys here and there, but Lamar and Allen, they're the QB1 and the RB1.
Oh yeah.
So just what they're doing for their teams right now is really, really special. Really great to see. I just got to give a lot of credit to Allen, bro. I mean, first 2 years in the league didn't look too great. People were starting to, call him the B word. You know what I mean? They're starting to throw that B word around. And, they get Stephon Diggs. He works on his mechanics. He works with one of the Palmer brothers, mistaken which one. Works on his mechanics, gets right. And
I only know one Palmer. It's Arnold, my brother.
Oh, I mean Carson and I forgot. I think Jesse. I think James. One of those. Jim? One of those. I don't know. One of the Palmers. Definitely not. It wasn't Carson. I think it's the younger brother. But he works with those guys, and he works on his mechanics, and he's locked in. He's locked in. Buffalo, they got a guy, bro. They got a guy, and just got to give them a lot of credit. It took a while. Definitely took a while. They had their lumps. But it's definitely great to see for that city. They get a franchise guy, superstar franchise guy. It's different to just have a franchise guy like Kirk Cousins is a franchise guy, but Josh Allen, Herbert, those are superstar franchise guys, and they got one of those for years to come. And it's going to be tough to stop those guys as long as they got him under center, 17. And I mean, they went down to Arrowhead. That's obviously the litmus, obviously the big test. Got to go up against the reign, the back-to-back AFC champs, see where you're at as a team. And like you said, they hit him in the mouth. I thought the rain delay would kind of give the Chiefs a little bit of life in the second half. They kind of, sparked some life into them. They made some plays here and there. They had a touchdown. I think that Frank Clark roughing the passer definitely killed all momentum. If they would have got that stop, who knows what would have happened. But just got to be – I mean, it's tough to say being smarter. I mean, it's a bang-bang play. You're going so fast trying to make a play, but – I don't know. You just gotta think. Got to think a little bit more and just be more aware of what's going on. Because that's a big play. They're gonna throw that flag every single time you touch the quarterback the wrong way. That flag that flag's going up. So that was a big time. That drained the Chiefs right there because they made a little run. They had a touchdown. Got a couple 3 and outs, and that definitely killed the vibe. But Allen's special, bro. Allen's special. Right here. Thinking about these young AFC QBs, he's right there, bro. He's right there, and top 4. I mean, you could pick him. You could pick him, man. There's no wrong guy. I mean, you got Herbert, Mahomes, Lamar and Josh. I mean, not in any order, but
and that's just the ones that we think are crazy because you still got Joe Burrow. You still got,
right, Burrow. Yep.
Like I said, Baker's not on their level, but he's still good.
To me, Baker. I mean,
like I said, he's not on their level. Don't get me wrong. Not on their level.
To me, it's a big gap.
Oh yeah,
it's a big gap because give Lamar, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, bro? We're talking about the greatest rushing attack
in the first quarter.
That's the greatest rushing attack ever, bro. If you gave Lamar, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt, how would you be? How are you stopping that? How are you stopping that? So, but yeah. Baker, he's in the, he's right there. He's in that conversation. Hopefully, and I'm a little scared, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro, because they got these guys, bro. These guys we just named off, man. They're not going anywhere, bro. They're gonna be here for the next 10, 12. So
everybody thinks Trevor Lawrence is the next coming of Jesus.
I mean, it's gonna be rough for him. He plays for the Jags, so I don't know when they're gonna turn that around.
I hate to bring up bad news again, and I don't know if you can still consider him a young quarterback. I do. Deshaun Watson's going to end up playing in the league again.
Hopefully it's in the NFC. Hopefully he gets traded to the NFC, man.
Listen, I hope that too, but those Miami Dolphins are really fiending for the kid.
Yeah, they got the picks. They have the picks to definitely make that move. And like I said, I'm a little scared. I mean, I hope Mac's going to have to. I mean, but again, We'll talk about the Pats. But yeah, they got some young guys. There's young guys in this AFC, man. It's going to be very competitive. It's not going to be a cakewalk for the Chiefs. People are already trying to crown them as the next Patriots. And I was just like, not so fast. This is football. Anything can happen.
Welcome to reality, Chiefs.
Yeah, this is football, man. Anything can happen, and I mean, of course, you're always gonna have a chance with Mahomes back there. But when you have these teams. You're gonna be great in some places, and you're gonna be not so great in other places. It's just in the not so great part is really bad defensively. They're really bad. They're just not together collectively, man. They have some talented guys. They're gonna really have to lock in these next few games. I still have them as being one of the 7 best teams in the AFC, of course, because of the offense. But
I think they are in that respect.
Right, 100%. But as we go through the years, or just specifically as we go through the season, those are pick'em games. If they're going up against the Bills, Ravens, Chargers, divisional round, first wild card round, things like that. It's not going to be Chiefs by 15, Chiefs by 17. You can't say that anymore.
I think the Chargers are better than them right now.
Right now, yeah, of course, the way they're playing, yeah. I mean, they could easily be 5-0. I mean, just a couple mistakes there against Dallas, they could easily be 5-0. So, of course, yeah, 100%. So, but yeah, Allen's special. Like I said, you look at that 2018 draft class. The last 2 quarterbacks that were picked in the first round ended up being the best guys. Darnold's hot and cold. He has good. He has. He played like. He played. I'm not a big believer. I just feel like he could have get an opportunity in Carolina. We'll see how he plays, but he's definitely hot and cold. He has good moments. He has bad moments. Baker, first few seasons didn't have a lot around him. Last 2 seasons have some really good pieces around him, so he's going to be good. But Lamar and Josh Allen are light years ahead of those guys, and those were the guys that had the most questions.
Josh Rosen's not even in the league.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Josh Rosen's playing Madden somewhere like us, so he's on the street. He might be a coach at UCLA in the next month or something like that, bro. Who knows? I don't know. He's been around a few teams already, so yeah, bro. I mean, they had a lot of questions. Both of those quarterbacks had a lot of questions. I remember the draft. I remember everybody saying Lamar. He didn't want to do the 40-yard dash, and that was a big deal. I'm like, yo, bro, like what? You can't tell he's fast. Allen, people
played at Wyoming.
Played at Wyoming, small school. People compared him to Cam, and a lot of people are like, oh, no, he's not going to be Cam. Are you kidding me? I mean, 4 years later, I mean,
he's better than Cam.
Yeah, he looks better. Yeah, he looks better than Cam, bro, especially in that pocket the way he's slinging the rock. So, just give him a lot of credit, bro. Like I said, he put a lot of work in, and credit to Buffalo, man. They put the pieces around him, and they're succeeding. The defense is definitely playing well. Also, got to give them a lot of credit. Like you said, Gregory Rousseau made a big time play in the red zone, tip interception pass, a big play.
Big play.
Big play for them. They got some really solid guys in that secondary. Trey White,
they had the Bills had like 9 players have different snaps on the defensive side for the D line. That's what happens when you're not paying everybody a lot of money. You can have depth.
You're talking about Buffalo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Buffalo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That money will kick in though soon. Because with the Allen contract, it will kick in soon. So we'll see how they're gonna have to continue to draft well and develop those guys. So as Allen's making all this money, they're still able to stay afloat, and we won't see a similar situation like we're seeing right now in Buffalo. In KC and Buffalo, but yeah, man, gotta give Buffalo a lot of credit. Shout out to my guy Nick, bro. He's like a fortune teller, I guess, around this new era of football.
You might have to have Nick back on the show.
Might have to bring Nick back on the show. I'm gonna hit him up, man. If you're watching, bro, pull up for sure. You're always welcome, bro. Yeah, bro. This is a great win for Buffalo, and like you said, the best team in the AFC. Them and the Chargers. I don't see any other team right now.
That's who I have as well.
Yeah, I don't. But I just think defensively they're a little bit better.
Yep.
They put up 40. The Browns put up 42, and they could have easily won that game. This game against Kansas City wasn't even close, so I'll give them a slight edge over Los Angeles.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of time clearly on these first 2 games, but you know what? It's fine because there were some games in here that don't even deserve to be talked about, like the next one. 44-20, the Cowboys beat up on the Giants. CJ, it's getting tough living in New York, man. Let me tell you something. It's tough out here. Still support, the city, but I don't know how us fans are doing. We're not doing too well. Good thing I don't care about either of the New York teams anyway. But I think the only storyline out of this is I can't believe Daniel Jones is alive, and Saquon has a baseball ankle now.
Dodged a bullet though. It could have been worse. It looked bad. I thought he broke his ankle.
I thought he tore his Achilles.
I thought his ankle snapped. I was about to say, oh my god.
Because I didn't see the replay at first. I just saw him get up, take a step, and then favor his ankle, and I was like, oh my god, he just tore his Achilles. And then I saw the replay, and I was like, bro, that's disgusting.
Yeah, man. But, it's not too much to say about this game, like you said. No. Dallas, it was close early. It was close early, and that's what I expected. But Daniel Jones you have to be a little. One thing I will say for you, Daniel Jones has to be a little bit smarter, man. A little bit smarter. Just run out of bounds, bro. Run out of bounds. You're not Cam.
Slide, bro.
Yeah, slide. Run out of bounds. Good to see another down. That was 2nd and goal. It wasn't like it was 4th and goal. And then you're diving into a defender. Tough, man. Good thing it wasn't anything. It wasn't worse. A concussion is bad, but it wasn't anything worse than that, like a neck injury or something.
And he looked like he just stumbled.
Yeah, he was stumbling. Yeah, he was stumbling. It was definitely a little scary to watch. But like I said, Saquon dodged a big bullet as well, low ankle sprain. You thought, like we just said, it could have been worse.
Honestly, they should have just quit the game at halftime. This was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. It was to the point. Kenny Golladay gets hurt. Saquon gets hurt.
Kenny Golladay, right? One bright spot was Tony.
Yes, and then he punches a cowboy in the helmet and gets thrown out of the game.
Incredible.
Which, by the way, come on, NFL players, have we not learned that punching a player in the helmet doesn't do anything? The only thing that's going to happen
when you're a receiver and you need your hands.
Yeah, you're going to break your hand, you idiots. Like, if you want to throw hands, at least pull a Andre Johnson and rip the helmet off. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
simple.
Man.
Simple.
Yeah, Dallas, they did what they need to do. To me, like I said this last week, most balanced offense in the NFL. Trayvon Diggs playing great, 6 interceptions in 5 games. They're still giving up a lot of yards though. It's still kind of to me a little bend but don't break type defense. But they're getting turnovers.
Made a living on that. You remember?
Yeah, that's 100%. And they offsetted that with turnovers, and that's what Dallas is doing right now. Doing a great job of that. Got to give them credit, man. Moving on to the NFC West matchup between the 49ers and the Cardinals. Trey Lance first start, really didn't play too well. It was it was more of a defensive game. It was really sluggish. Thought it'd be a little bit more points put up on the board. But Kyler and the guys, Kyler made a big time throw to D-Hop to kind of seal the deal. What's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, this was another game that I just didn't have too much on. I threw this game on in the bottom right corner of my little Sunday ticket. I was more focused on that game coming up with the Browns and the Chargers. But yeah, like you said, a defensive battle, and I still find it impressive because the Cardinals won, and they're definitely the past few years haven't been known for playing defense at all. So the fact that they could go in there with the San Francisco team that's known for being a very physical team and win a defensive battle, I still think that says something about them. And good for the Cardinals, 5-0. If you would have told me that at the beginning of the year, I would have checked you for every drug known to man. But good for them.
All
And
right.
another story out of there: Trey Lance hurt already.
Yeah, man, it's tough. Yeah, Garoppolo's probably, obviously not happy that he got hurt, but definitely a little happy that he didn't play too great because I could get his job back when he comes back.
Yep.
I mean, I can see why Shanahan wanted to sit Lance for a little bit. Not ready yet. Still has to, improve as a pocket passer. He's still a really young quarterback. So, but yeah, Cardinals played great. Another young quarterback, Justin Fields, went to Vegas on the road. Another slow game. There was some good moments here and there, but Justin Fields didn't really throw the ball too much. I feel like they made enough plays. Look at Vegas after everything that happened during the weekend. I just feel like they came out flat. They really didn't want to play, and that kind of showed on Sunday afternoon. The Bears came out, did what they had to do. I was about to say Khalil sack. Khalil Mack got a sack. Khalil Mack got a sack. On Carr was out for a little scary little bit. I thought he was going to be out. He came back in. Hopefully, my fantasy team is sheesh. It's going crazy right now. Russell on Thursday. I was like, all right, I see how it is. Then Saquon with what's going on, brother? Hey,
What's going on, brother?
What's good, bro? Just credit to Justin Fields, bro. He's gonna have this job for the rest of the season, and hopefully he can continue to improve as a pocket passer. They could build around him as he's on a rookie contract, like we've been talking about since last year. It's going to be up to the Bears. Big task for them, but it was a big dub for them. Big dub for the Bears. They could definitely, if they continue to improve, they could maybe get in one of those 7 spots.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Another game that I was not really focused on. 20-9. Obviously, another defensive battle. You mentioned it. Justin Fields, 12 of 20, 111 yards, a touchdown. He ended up getting hurt in this game too. Andy Dalton had to come in and for a few plays. Made one throw, completed it for 8 yards, nothing serious. But this is what the Bears have to do. They're going to win, ugly. Nobody wants to watch games. That's what they're going to have to do. They're a defense team. They're not really, some big offensive juggernaut. And I can tell you that they're not an offensive juggernaut because I drafted Allen Robinson. And I don't even think that the Bears know that Allen Robinson still plays in the NFL. Just saying. I'm not mad about it at all. But, it's fine. And, CJ, you mentioned the fantasy, so I had to go take a look at it real quick. The Deadass Dynasty that weren't together. Not to toot my own horn or anything, But I am 5-0.
Cardinal action, all right. Cardinals.
I'm the sole undefeated man in this league. You're 3-2. You're not doing too bad. You're right there with everybody else.
For now, bro.
Why? You got a few injuries?
That's the one with Herbert, right? That's the one Herbert's my starter?
Yes, it is.
All right, so
I think I got Barkley in that league. That's tough. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
That'll do it for you.
Got the MLB there, bro. He got his ankle is shot the size of an MLB baseball, bro. It was crazy.
Nah, that was ugly to look at. That really was. But all right. I say we move on from that one into another great game.
Yes, another great game. I was definitely tuned into this one. Browns and the Chargers. Second half, both teams went crazy. I mean, they said both teams. This game set a lot of records when it came to points and yards and things like that. I mean,
you're gonna have to go listen back to the pod. We talked a lot about your Bills.
Yes, sir. Listen back to the pod, bro, for sure. Giving them a lot of credit. Allen's playing well. Another great quarterback, Justin Herbert, man. Back and forth game. To me, what came down, the defining point to me was, I think it was like 3 minutes left, and just the play calling by Stefanski was for those 3 plays to give the Chargers the ball back. Were really questionable. They would do a third down they run the ball on 3rd and 10.
Yeah,
I just feel like, again, if Baker's that guy, bro, Look at the Chargers. And like I said, I'm not hating on Baker, bro. I'm not like a
Don't be
Kyle Hurd
Kyle Hurd.
2.0. Yeah, I'm not a Kyle. I like Baker. You know what I mean? I like his game, but I'm just saying they're just built differently than the other the other teams that have those other younger guys at QB in the AFC. And you got Odell on your team. To me, we need to make a call. We need to make a call. Patriots. When I say we,
CJ.
Patriots need to make a call either for Odell or Godwin, in my opinion. Maybe next year, probably able to get Godwin, but they need a number one. We said this last week. They need a number one receiver. But I don't want to get off on a tangent. I want to stay to this game real fast, and then we'll talk about the Pats. But Herbert played great. 5 total touchdowns, 4 passing, 1 rushing. He has some great players over there. Austin Eckler definitely, coming alive, being a really two-way back, playing great football as well. What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this is my second best team in the AFC right now. It's the Chargers, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that, like you said, Justin Herbert is playing like an MVP candidate, just like we said about Josh Allen. Just looking at his stats from this game, 26 of 43, 398 yards, 4 touchdowns. Austin Eckler, 17 carries, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Mike Williams, man, I mean, you want to talk about having a year. 8 catches, 165 yards, had 2 touchdowns in this game. 16 targets went to Mike Williams. So definitely Herbert is trying to get that man involved in the offense. And then we all obviously know what Keenan Allen can do, the 6 catches for 75 yards. But, I mean, I think Herbert's the story here. Like you said, and I hate agreeing with Cowher on many things because he annoys me. He's such a Baker hater. I think I've said this in the chat. I genuinely think when Baker was in college, he was seeing his daughter. Well, I'll just leave it at that. I think Baker made a nice trip down to Arizona State and said it was good to live. I'm just saying, because there's no way you can hate somebody that much. But yeah, that play call doesn't really make sense to me. 3rd and 10, they run the ball, and I mean, I guess you can understand it a little bit because the Chargers didn't stop the Browns all game running the ball. I mean, you look at the rushing for the Browns. Nick Chubb, 21 carries, 161 yards and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt had 12 carries, 61 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Nick Chubb was averaging 7.7 yards a carry. So I guess you can kind of understand that, but that play call, and then the thing that I really think does them in, I don't know what the correct wording for that is. Whatever. There's like the last possession of the game, a minute 30 left or something around there. They went 15 yards, CJ. 15 yards in 50 seconds. With no timeouts. They're throwing short little routes over the middle of the field when they have to go the length of the field and score a touchdown.
Right. To try to win it, right.
Yeah, exactly. To try to win the game. The last possession of the game. I don't understand what they're doing, so they do that, and then they have to throw 2 Hail Mary attempts. Like, I just didn't understand the point of it.
Bad execution.
Yeah, it really was bad execution. Baker did play well in this game, though. I mean, he was 23 of 32 at 305 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nobody can stop anybody. Obviously, you can tell by the final score. It was 47-42. The Browns had 531 total yards of offense. The Chargers had 493. So it was an unbelievable game, to say the least. Time of possession, and that's the thing that's crazy to me too. The Cleveland had the ball for 36 minutes in this game, and the Chargers had it for 23. So you had the ball 13 minutes longer, still end up losing the game, which is definitely a little telling. And I think that fourth quarter is when everything went loose. Obviously, the fourth quarter, the Chargers scored 26 points. The Browns scored 15. They played a whole ass game in the fourth quarter. If you told me that was the final score of a game, I would believe you. But yeah, going back to it, I think Herbert is unbelievable. His last 3 games, he has 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. I mean, he's playing out of his mind. And listen, I was tooting my own horn about, Josh Allen and everything of that. I had no idea Justin Herbert was good. Not a clue. So to see this out of him is is very impressive. But the Chargers do a lot of things right. They can obviously throw with Herbert. They trust him. I mean, I feel like they go for it no matter what it is. I mean, 4th and 7, 4th and 9. I've seen them go for it. 4th and 2. It doesn't matter. I feel like they go for
total trust. Total trust.
Yeah, it is
great.
absolute total trust in Herbert, and it's something that I feel like a lot of coaches don't have in most of their quarterbacks. I mean, I think there's a hand. I think you can name it on your hand the people that the quarterbacks that their coaches trust like that. I mean, you would probably go with Brady. You can't even say Rodgers because you look at the playoffs last year.
Right. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Exactly. You go with Brady, Herbert. They definitely trust Mahomes to do it. Obviously, they trust Lamar to do it.
Lamar, yep, yes, yep.
I think that they would trust Josh Allen to do it. I think that's it.
Yeah, I really do. Like 6 or 7 guys. Yeah, Kyler probably. Yeah, Kyler.
Yeah, Kyler. Maybe Russ when he's healthy, obviously. But
right. Yeah.
It's definitely an exclusive club, and Herbert got into it in his second year. So it is definitely
23, man. 23.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Those Charger Chiefs games for the foreseeable future. I'll go out on a limb here and say that I'm watching them.
Of course, yeah.
To say the least. I mean, they are going to be very entertaining games to watch. This could be, because I mean, what 2 quarterbacks in the same division play at this level that played all the time like this? I mean, Manning and Brady were in different divisions.
They were together in the AFC East for a little bit, and then they put the Colts in the AFC South.
Yeah, and
other than that,
they didn't play each other as often as they're going to play, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
they can see each other 3 times a year, every year.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, the Chargers are very good, 4-1 on the year. I think the Browns are fine too. I mean, they're 3-2. Their 2 losses are to the Chargers and the Chiefs, and they lost to the Chiefs in Week 1 when we were still thinking that they could go 17-0. So I'm not really gonna sit here and act like I'm scared for the Browns. I think they're going to be just fine. They have the number 1 rated offensive line. They have 2 running backs. They're going to get Jarvis back eventually. And I'm not even going to turn this into a Patriot conversation, CJ, but I've been saying this for a very long time. I don't think Baker likes having Odell on that team. I don't know what it is. I'll give you the analogy that I gave to everybody on Gen Z yesterday and see if you can follow me here. I feel like Jarvis is your mom when you're sick. She's the one taking care of you. Oh, you want some soup, blah, blah, I'll make you some tea. And then Odell's like the grumpy old dad that just got home and is, get out of my way. I got to go get a beer type of guy. Like, that's how Baker feels about how Baker feels about them. I mean, you look at it when only Jarvis plays, they're perfectly fine. When it's only Odell, they can't do anything. Baker had 302 yards in this game. You know how many yards Odell had?
I think 8, something like that.
20. He had 2 catches for 20 yards. I mean, I don't
let him go.
Baker has overthrown him a few times, blah blah. But I just don't think that there's a comfort level there. I don't think Baker. I think he makes Baker nervous. As weird as that is to say, but I literally think he makes him nervous. So I've been saying
they're just not in sync.
2 years that they should trade him. So
yeah, they're just not in sync. I definitely agree. Next game up, Titans, Jags. Not too much to say. Derrick Henry again, putting the team on his back. Just completely dominant performance by Henry.
Tannehill has a 99 handoff rating.
Yeah, 100%. He's elite. He's elite at that. Jaguars. I mean, I haven't seen their schedule.
Game losing streak.
I haven't seen their schedule. They might be able to split with the Texans in the next appearance that they have, but I see 1-16, 2-15 vibes.
Oh yeah. You know that Trevor Lawrence has already lost more games than he did in high school, college, and before his entire Mighty Mites career and everything. He's already lost more games this year.
Yeah, I believe it, bro. I believe it. This is the NFL. It's different, bro. You need supreme talent to make waves, and I don't think it's gonna happen for them anytime soon, man. Then next, we got the Eagles and the Panthers. It was, it was looking like the Panthers were able to pull this one out, but Sam Darnold just kept turning the ball over and kept giving the ball back to the Eagles. And Eagles, Jalen Hurts didn't play really great, had 2 rushing touchdowns. To me, I think a lot of Philly fans, I think they're like it's kind of mixed feelings with Hurts. He hasn't even played started in the full season yet. He's still a rookie in terms of games started as a quarterback. So it's tough to really tell what he is right now. They don't really run the ball. They have a talented running back in Miles Sanders, and Sirianni just doesn't run the ball. Offensive line is good. They don't give him the rock. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there, but Eagles got a much needed W for them. Steelers and the Broncos. Steelers had it. Oh, you want to say anything about that? Anything about that game?
Not even a little bit.
The Steelers had that. Steelers had the lead for a little bit. And it looked like they was going to, continue to get that lead and go and just be an easy dub. But Broncos battled back. Teddy threw a pick with the game on the line to try to tie it up, try to get a touchdown and try to tie it up with the 2-pointer. Well, it was unsuccessful in doing so. Juju got hurt out for the season. That's definitely tough.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Dislocated shoulder. So that's definitely tough. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Crazy times, man.
Crazy time in the NFL.
It's the greatest reality show in sport ever. Greatest reality show, bro. I mean, there's so many characters and storylines. It can't be topped.
And you only get 1 episode a week.
1 episode a week, man. You can't do this. This is not Love and Hip Hop, man. This is way better than.
I hate you.
Way better than Love and Hip Hop, you heard? Way better. But glow up from VH1, man. You gotta holler. Come to watch the NFL. That's where the real drama is at. It's real drama.
This is no Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, where all them housewives with all them trash shows.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, this is the real deal, man. This is the real deal.
CJ, did I ever tell you the fun fact about Jersey Shore, bro?
What was the fun fact?
I worked at an airport. My manager at the airport, Snooki's dad.
Wow.
Andy Palizzi, my boy. One of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life.
That's crazy.
It would be mad funny. We would just casually be in the office, his phone would ring. Oh, what's going on, Snooks? I'd be like, hey, yo, like, tell us what's up.
I'm crying. Yeah, this is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. What's going on, Perry? What's good, brother?
Big CEO vibes.
Appreciate you tuning in, man. Packers and the Bengals. This game, bro.
I'm starting a petition, bro.
You need a kicker, man. You need a kicker in the NFL, dog.
Nah, no. You don't, because I'm starting a petition to get rid of him. I can't do it no more, bro. You're telling me a game that all these super talented wide receivers, quarterbacks, running backs playing their asses off, and it comes down to a kicker who doesn't even have to actually practice during the week. He don't even run. They don't even run in practice. And a kicker misses it to take the L for you. I can't do kickers no more, bro. I think you must go for it on 4th and down or 4th and whatever. 2-point conversions only. No more kickers.
I'm with that. I think that would make the league much more exciting. No, it would. It would make the league much more exciting. But there are times where you need a kicker. Like, I'd rather go for a kick than, 4th and 10 with 3 seconds left than do a, Hail Mary on your 30. I would go for the 47-yard field goal. But a 57-yard field goal.
You get 2 kicks a game. I'll give you that. How about that?
2 kicks a game.
Use them wisely.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure for these kickers, man. Like you said, they don't really do everything that the other players do. They just really have to just work on their technique every single day. But it's a lot of pressure going into these big moments to win games. Everybody's watching you, and you hook it left, you hook it right, and it dings off the cross thing. It's tough.
That's got to be tough. The loudest sound in sports, bro. When the ball hits the upright, the whole stadium, it's like a bell. It's like a church bell.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And there was definitely some bad kicking in this game. Mason Crosby missed, I think, 4 or 5 kicks consecutively at that. Usually you see them miss, 1 or 2 here and there, and miss 1 or 2 and then make a few. But he definitely struggled. And then the Bengals kicker just had it for the game. He missed it. And then ultimately Mason Crosby was able to get one through, and they were able to, get one in Cincinnati on the road. The big play, Aaron Rodgers, that 3rd and 16 to Randall Cobb. I felt like Rodgers was just going to make a play or two more than Burrow, and that's exactly what happened. That's how they were able to get that W. But yeah, close game. It got a little ugly at the end. But again, with all the missed kicks, and it was back and forth. But Packers were able to get the dub.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Buccaneers and the Dolphins. Florida showdown. Just dismantle the Dolphins. Brady, after having a okay game against New England last week, had no touchdowns, no turnovers. Came back, dropped 5 touchdowns on the Dolphins, and did what he needed to do. No Gronk, no problem. Mike Evans had 2 tutties. AB had 2 tutties. AB, I think, fastest to 900 catches in the NFL history. Just elite, bro.
Really?
Yeah, yep. Fastest to 900 catches. Yep. He's just a beast, man. He's a beast, and he's going up against cornerback 3. It's a mismatch, so that's why he's going to keep getting the ball, and he can take it to the crib. Still playing at a high level,
that's
even though he's 33.
Even all the time he missed, though.
Even all the time he missed, he was still able to just get 900 catches, man. He's a dog. He's a beast, man. Tom, they were able to run the ball, have success. The Dolphins.
Oof.
I'll say the one silver lining, I guess, is this is a big time for Tua, bro. Like, I mean, if he could come back and get some W's on the board for them, it could entice Mr. Ross and the Greer and the front office to try to keep Tua. But if he's playing just as bad as Brissett, you obviously they like we talked about earlier, they have the capital to try to make that move and get Deshaun. And it's very possible. Hope, as a Pats fan, I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. But it's rough over there in Miami right now. And I look at that one. Out of that 1-4, man. I just
don't even look. It's disgusting.
It's just I really feel like that game is gonna haunt us, man, for real.
It's like the Twilight Zone. It's like how the Steelers beat the Bills in Week 1. It's like, how did that even happen? That feels like a season ago compared to where both teams are now. But
yeah, bro, that game is man. All right,
Damien, you're killing me. But yeah, an absolute slaughter over there for the Battle of Florida. First career game for Brady with over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I'm not surprised.
I kind of am.
I'm not surprised. I mean, he never really had great weapons outside of Randy.
I'm surprised it didn't happen in the 2007 season.
That's true. Yeah,
or at least like one blowout game against the Jets or the Dolphins one of those years. 22 years the man's been in the league. I can't believe this was the first time. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I can see where you're coming from with that for sure.
I think we go on here to our team. And let me tell you something, CJ. I was very close. I was close. I didn't think I was going to be able to come onto this show.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you writing in the chat, man, early. He was like, "I'm done. I'm done with this." I was like, man." I wanted to comment, but I was just like, "Nah, let me just watch the game." You feel me? Like, I was like, "Let me just watch the rest of the game."
Disgusting. This is. Yeah, disgusting isn't even the word. Let's just look at some stats here. Ready? Because this is where it really gets to me. First of all, it's the Texans, so they shouldn't even be allowed to be in games because they're that bad. Just saying. At one point, I believe, what was the score, CJ? 22-9 at one point, I think it was.
Yep.
And you would think, if I told you a quarterback went 21 of 29, had 312 yards and 3 touchdowns, you would think that was, an Aaron Rodgers stat line, a Mahomes, a Josh Allen, somebody of that nature. No. Davis Mills. Davis freaking Mills put up 312 yards and 3 touchdowns on the Patriots defense. J.C. Jackson getting mossed by people I don't even know. Chris Moore, 5 catches, 109 yards and a touchdown. I guess. Chris
It's on
Conley,
the practice squad.
bro. Chris Conley, 3 for 84 and a touchdown. Like, who are you? Ever seen that SpongeBob meme where it's like, who are these people? That's what I felt.
Oh yeah.
That is that is exactly how I felt watching this game. And then the offense, for the Pats, was not looking too pretty in that first half. But hey, we came back a little bit. We came back. Mac 23 of 30, 231, a touchdown, 1 interception. Damian Harris 14 for 58 and a touchdown. Obviously had that huge fumble at the goal line.
Bro.
We listen.
I was almost done right after that, bro.
See, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy out here.
That was crazy.
Damian, I'm gonna give you a hint, bro. You're not gonna keep playing if you keep doing that. First of all,
second, but the thing is, like, we just don't have anybody else. All the running backs have fumbled except Brandon Bolden.
Hey, listen. At one point,
all of them have fumbled.
At one point, Bill was going to say, screw it and go to Brandon Bolden. That's the scary thing. Because you know how Bill is. He will do that.
Crazy, bro.
All I'm saying, I wanted the Patriots, years ago to go after Leonard Fournette when he became a free agent. And they didn't do it. And now I really, truly wish that they did. Because that running back room is looking a little rough. And I thought it was going to be very deep, but it's not anymore. Especially with Harris, fumbling the ball. Got soap on that ball, apparently. James White out for the year now with that hip. Ramondre Stevenson, like you said, fumble. J.J. Taylor, fumble. So it's looking rough. But hey, CJ, on the bright side, 2 things. We won the game, so a win's a win no matter how it comes. And I don't know if you knew this. It came as a surprise to me as well. But we signed somebody named Hunter Henry in the offseason. And he actually played in this game, unlike the first 4. So
he had a touchdown last week. Two touchdowns in 2 weeks. Jano played solid as well. Listen, I'll say this, man. It's crazy. I knew the Texans were going to come out and play better because they got blasted last week by 40. You know what I mean? So I knew they were going to play with some type of urgency. And I think New England probably slept on them a little bit. Probably thought, this is going to be a cakewalk. And like you said, Devin McCourty didn't have a great game. He definitely struggled. You look at that, you talk about the J.C. Jackson getting mossed, but if McCourty pushes him out of bounds or tackles him, he tried to make a play on the ball, and that's how he was able to get that touchdown. He didn't play great in the first half, but it's a tale of 2 halves. In that second half, they definitely played better. Davis Mills looked great in the first half. He had that 1 touchdown in the second half off the flea flicker. Other than that, other than the second half, he didn't really play that great. He didn't really do too much. The offense was moving. I feel like the offense was definitely moving throughout the game. Definitely moving on the Texans throughout the entire game. Again, Damian Harris, just got to protect the rock, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Definitely probably going to need a running back next year for sure. And but they got the W. I just felt like we were just going to win the game. Just the way the second half was going down. Made some stops. Matthew Judon made some big-time plays to avoid touchdowns and just kept him at field goals. He's looking like, the best signing that we had in the offseason. He's living up to the money for sure. I think he leads the league in sacks right now with 6.5. So he's playing great right now. Mac. I like Mac, bro, but he just doesn't have the weapons. Again, he doesn't have the weapons at his disposal. Jacoby Myers could have had an easy tud, dropped it.
Oh my God,
dropped it, man. The leading receiver is Jacoby Myers, and he doesn't have a receiving touchdown yet in his NFL career.
Really?
I don't think so, bro. I think they were saying the stat throughout the game. It's like he's like because I think he was about to score, and I think one of the announcers he almost got his first touchdown in his career. So that's just saying everything right now when it comes to the weapons that Mac has right now. Got to get some guy. You got to get that guy some weapons, bro. How are you supposed to throw the ball deep to a guy that has been in the league 3 years and doesn't have a receiving touchdown. He has more passing touchdowns than receiving touchdowns, that receiver. So, everybody wants to call Mac mid. I saw what Rex Ryan said, pea shooter of an arm, things like that. But
biggest hater.
Of course.
Patriots.
Of course.
That's what happens when he gets owned by them twice a year every year. But, it's fine. Rex, how's the couch, bro?
I wasn't surprised.
On ESPN for a reason. I'm just saying.
I wasn't surprised. I mean, obviously he still got that bias, but it's all good. But like I said, like you said, a dub is a dub. I was glad I was able to get the W, man. Wasn't pretty by any means, but we just got the Cowboys this week. That's going to really show what type of team we'll be moving forward.
God, that sickens me even thinking of losing to them, but whatever. These next two games, I didn't really have much to say about them unless you did. I'll go through them quickly. Saints get the 33-22 win over Washington. This is kind of what you expect out of them. I would hope that they could beat Washington. I think the biggest story out of this is I don't know what happened to the Washington defense. Like, I have absolutely no idea where they went. I think they've given up, it feels like they've given up 30-plus points in basically every single game that they've played so far. This is kind of the typical – it's not – all right, let me not say the typical Jameis game because he had 4 touchdowns and only 1 pick. But he had typical Jameis plays in this, I should say. He throws a weird, stupid interception and then comes back and has a 75-yard touchdown pass. So it's definitely going to be a
Jameis.
Yeah. I mean, even in this game, he was only 15 of 30 for 279, but he had four touchdown passes. Alvin Kamara had 16 carries, 71 yards, a touchdown. Marquez Callaway, the preseason hero, 4 catches, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But nothing big out of this game. Taylor Heineke, 20 of 41, 2 interceptions. Definitely a tough time for him. Antonio Gibson, 20 for 60 and 2 touchdowns. So racking up the touchdowns, but in a losing effort, to say the least. I don't know if you had anything on this, CJ. If not, I'm going on.
Nah, not too much, man. Not too much.
Next up, we got the Vikings and the Lions. Just another game that I'm sorry, I'm not watching. But Jared Goff, 21 of 35, 203 yards, an interception. And then you go over to the Viking side of things. Kirk was 25 of 34, 275, a touchdown. It got closer towards the end of the game. It looked like the Vikings were going to have an easy victory. At one point, it was, let's see here. It was, at one point, 16-6 in the fourth quarter. And then it definitely got a little bit closer, as you can tell. They come back. Lions come back, get a field goal, get a touchdown, make it 17-16. And this is where I feel bad, bro. The Lions lose on a 54-yard field goal to lose another heartbreaking game. And I believe that they are the first team in NFL history to lose on back-to-back 50-plus yard field goals with no time left on the clock. So it is definitely a tough time for Lions fans out there. It's like they're always so close to winning, and then something happens and they just lose. And you saw it after the game. Dan Campbell came out, man's crying at the podium, and hey, I like it. He's at least he's showing some heart. What, CJ? You didn't like the tears?
Nah, man, I get it, bro. I get it. They compete. I'll give them that. They definitely compete, man. They were in a lot of those games. Yeah, they don't have any talent, man. They don't have any talent, but they fight hard. They definitely play for Dan Campbell. I know he was emotional, but yeah, tough loss, bro. I don't know what's
back-to-back curse, man.
I think they cursed over there, man.
It's like they have one good player every generation. They had Barry, then they went to Calvin, then they had Stafford. I'm waiting on who the next one is, but
I don't know. Guess we'll find out in the draft.
If only listen, the Lions historically might have one of the best teams of all time. Because I mean, if you could just get all of their good players to play at one time, It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be
You
great.
got a top wide receiver of all time. You got a damn good quarterback in Stafford. You got Barry.
Yeah,
You know, you could
Madden
put
Madden Ultimate Team, Lions Ultimate Team is lit, but
Woo! I
real
know you got
life,
Night Train Lane over there playing cornerback. I think he has like the most interceptions in NFL history or something like that.
yep, yep.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
real
yeah,
life is just tough, man.
just can't get it all together at one point. We had the early game, the London game, sipping on some tea over here.
I was not during
Oh, I
this game.
was slumped.
I was not up watching
Bro,
that.
I woke up at like, I'm not even gonna lie. I woke up at like 12:50. And I was like, oh shit, just in time for the 1 o'clock game.
Right, yeah.
But this was definitely not on my list of games to watch anyway. If I was up, of course it's football, so I'm gonna watch it. But I'm not too mad that I missed it. Jets take another loss. I don't think anybody is surprised in that manner. Biggest thing out of this, party. Yeah, I was gonna say the biggest thing coming out of this is definitely Kyle Pitts. He had a very nice game with 9 catches, 119 yards, a touchdown on 10 targets. So definitely trying to get him involved. And let me tell you something. Cordero Patterson just keeps pounding away, baby. 14 carries, 54 yards, 7 catches, 60 yards. I think Cordero Patterson has found his home. And they have fit him into the scheme beautifully. Matty Ice with his nice 33 of 45, 342, and 2 touchdowns. Ooh, I didn't even see this. Cordero Patterson attempted a pass as well. Damn, they're trying to make him do everything on this team. Unbelievable. But yeah, like you said, biggest thing out of this was definitely Kyle Pitts coming out partying while I can't think of the Jet quarterback now. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson had a good game last week. This week, I would not say so much. You know, CJ, he had such a bad game apparently that the NFL won't even post this man's stats on the screen. I'm on the Jets stats right now. Passing, not even there. Not even there. They won't even show how bad Zach Wilson did. So crazy times. You got anything on this one?
Not at all, brother. Not at all.
Even a little bit, he says.
Nah, like I said, Kyle Pitts, the best part. You know, I got him on the fantasy. I'm glad he stepped up. But other than that, man, it's not tuned in. Sorry, Jets and Falcon fans. Sorry, guys.
The 5 of them that are out there total. And then the Thursday night game will end it off with the one that kicked off the week that went on. Rams get a 26-17 victory over the Seahawks. Nothing crazy surprising about the win here, but obviously I think the biggest thing in this is Russell Wilson is out for like a month now, maybe 6 to 8 weeks. He had surgery on a finger that, I mean, looked like, one of those old witches in the movies. It looked like he was trying to cast spells. So that did not look good, I think. And even like they said in the surgery, it was a little bit worse than they thought. So he'll be out like 6 to 8 weeks. This is the first time I think he's missing a game in his entire NFL career, which this is also proves that athletes are different breeds. Because, after it happened, they popped it back into place and he's over there trying to throw a football. Meanwhile, the man just had surgery that's going to leave him out for 6 to 8 weeks. So it is now the Geno Smith show moving forward. And hey, to his credit, he came in, played pretty well after Russ went down that last drive. Obviously did not go the way that they wanted it to. Tyler Lockett seemed to have gotten, caught up with whoever was defending him. He tripped, leads to the interception, game over. But Rams did what they had to do in this game. I don't think it's very surprising with how bad the Seahawks defense is. Cooper Kupp is a man, a grown-ass man, very good at football. And then Russell Wilson out for that length of time. And I would say, in a weird way, it was good for the Seahawks because they could get a high draft pick. But, well, they don't have a draft pick, CJ. They don't have a first or a fourth draft pick because they gave it to the Jets for Jamal Adams, who can't cover me and you. He can blitz very well. 9.5 sacks last year. But coverage, which is kind of an important thing as a safety, can't do it. Not very good at it.
Yeah, they need to find a free safety. Well, don't they have Quandre Diggs? I think he might be free or it might be a corner. I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
Tough break for Seattle. I mean, their team was a little inconsistent here in these first 5 weeks, and now with Russ being out, it's definitely going to be a tough road ahead in a very difficult division like we've been talking about for the longest. So, and then like you said, no draft picks, so it's gonna be tough sledding for those guys.
Yeah, this is sorry, I was reading something my boy sent me, but yeah, this is going forward. This is going to be a tough time for Seattle fans. This is not going to be good. I don't know what their schedule looks like moving forward, but I would not count on too many wins. So it's all I'm saying.
Facts.
But CJ, that wraps up week 5. So it's time to make the little recap of how we did last week, CJ. And let me pull out the phone real quick. Something light. Now, CJ, I regret to inform you, I did have a better week. I did. I went 12-4. You went 10-6. So we both positive, and that's all that matters. But I believe I already deleted it because I'm an idiot and I was getting ready for next week. But I believe that you picked the Chiefs in that game. We both got the Panther game wrong. I believe you picked the Jets as well. So a few games in there that
never again.
We're a little tough. He said never again. But we move on to week 6 now. And CJ, don't you worry, I got the phone back out. We're keeping track again, and we'll start off with the Thursday night game. We got the Bucks at the Eagles. CJ, who you got? I don't really know why I just asked you that. We both got the Bucks, don't we?
Layup.
Easy
money.
Man,
they're making us pick the next one.
Yeah, this is just ugly.
Sheesh. I'm gonna say the Jaguars get their first win of the season, man. I'm gonna say they get their first win of the season, man.
You know what, CJ? You take us through the rest of these games so I can write them down as we go. But I'm also actually going with the Jags. I was hoping you were going to go with the Dolphins, but I'm going with the Jags too. Why not? Trevor Lawrence got to win eventually, doesn't he?
Facts. They got to come at some point. All right. Chiefs, Washington football team. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, KC.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I understand that the Chiefs haven't been very good this year, but they're not Washington. So if the Chiefs lose this game, then we really got some problems.
Yeah, we really got some problems.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, facts. Rams, Giants. Yeah, I'm going with the Rams in this one.
Yeah,
Saquon's probably not going to be back. Daniel Jones. Yeah.
This is not particularly hard. I don't even know if the Giants know who's going to be on their team next week. So Rams probably by 25.
Texans versus the Colts. I'm going with the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts as well. Obviously, the Texans just are not very good at football, even though, Davis Mills made the Patriots defense look like it was, the Chiefs. Anyway, I'm not even mad about it,
Bengals, Lions. I'm going to go with Cincy in this one. I'm going to go with Cincy. Close game. Like I said, the Lions, they fight, man, but I'm gonna go with Cincinnati.
Yeah, I got to go with the Bengals too. As much as I would love for the Lions fans to stop suffering, you're gonna have to wait another week to do that.
We got Green Bay versus the Bears. Classic game, historic game. But I'm gonna go with the Packers. It would be nice to see Justin Fields get a dub on Aaron Rodgers, but I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers as well. I just don't think the Bears are ready. But sneakily, I don't think the Packers have been playing too well this year. I'm just throwing that out there. They're 4-1, I understand. But they were in close games against the Bengals. They were in close games against the Lions. They got blown out week 1 against the Saints. So they haven't looked too good this year. 4-1, I know. But hey, haven't looked the best.
All right. This is a great game. Game. Both teams coming off some some clutch games. Go with the Ravens. I'm gonna go with the
Okay.
Ravens. Go with the Ravens.
I love that energy out of you. I got the Chargers in this one. Listen,
right.
I said that they were the second best team in the AFC. I can't leave them now.
Facts. This is gonna be a great game. Tuned in. Vikings, Panthers. I'm gonna go with Minnesota. Go with Minnesota in this one.
You know, you know what's annoying? I think I picked the Vikings on Gen Z, but I'm going with the Panthers on this one. Because now realistically, I can be smart either way. So that's the pro of it.
Right, you don't lose, right?
Exactly. But I think CMC's coming back. I think CMC's going to be back this week.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, so damn.
Big boost for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'll still go Vikings. Cardinals, Browns. Good game.
Man.
I'm gonna go with Cleveland. In this one.
I'll go with the Cardinals then. I'll take it. Kyler Murray, have some MVP magic, baby.
Definitely, you can definitely show out. Raiders, Broncos. Yeah, but everything's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I think they play with some life. Everything's in the past now. I think they have a good game. Divisional matchup, AFC West matchup. I'm rolling with Vegas.
I'm going to stick with the Raiders too, only because I think the Broncos were the biggest fraud 3-0 team I've ever seen in my entire life. Jets, Giants, Jags. Those games shouldn't even count towards your record. So they've played actual teams these last 2 weeks and lost. And I think the Raiders, while not the best team, are an actual team. So I'll stick with the Raiders.
Cowboys, Patriots.
Oh man.
I'm gonna always go with the Patriots, always. But the Cowboys, they got a good team. They have a good team over there, man. I hope the Pats win. I don't want to hear Skip on Undisputed go crazy on Monday. Rolling with the Pats. Always.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Pats too, even though I don't actually think they're gonna win. But I refuse to pick the Cowboys ever, first of all. And second of all, listen, like you said, all the Cowboys fans in the Unwrapped chat, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna absolutely throw up if they win this game. So I gotta go with the Patriots for my mental health.
I'm crying, bro. Seahawks, Steelers. No Russ. Gotta go with Pittsburgh. You
know what? I did it on Gen Z, and I'm going to do it here. I'm actually going to go with the Hawks. Now, I know Geno Smith is playing, but I just don't think the Steelers are very good at football either. Seahawks defense is bad too. So, listen, everything's going against me, but I just somehow feel like this is a game the Steelers will lose. Why not?
All right. Bills, Titans, going with Buffalo.
Oh yeah, I mean this is easy. I just said the Bills were the best team in the AFC. I don't see it stopping now, so I'm going with the Bills as well.
Yeah, they get their revenge from last year when Derrick Henry stiffed arm Josh Norman. They get their revenge.
Bro, that wasn't even a stiff arm. That's how you go to prison for murder right there. I mean that was just unbelievable. Great. But that does it for our week 6 picks. And, well, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that also does it for the show. CJ, what can I say? Another great episode. What else is new? Are you surprised? I'm not.
Never surprised. Another great episode. Appreciate everybody watching, tuning in on all the platforms. Yeah, man, check us out, man. 9 o'clock every Tuesday, bro.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Like CJ just said, make sure you check us out. You can find me. Actually, yeah, CJ, why don't you get all your plugs in? Why don't you tell the people where they can find you before I do mine?
CJames9 on Twitter. CJ.James9 on Instagram. Guard Up Pod on IG. Guard Up Podcast streaming on all platforms. New episode on the way. Covering all things basketball. And you can find me here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Twitch, CJ versus the World. Yeah, man.
I'm sure CJ got a lot to talk about in the NBA world. The Nets smoking on that Kyrie pack. You know what I mean?
Playmaker. Yeah. Skitty.
But yeah, as for me, Anthony Conover _ over there on Twitter, Gen Z Sports for the pod. We're doing a giveaway on the pod. 100 subscribers on the YouTube, 200 followers on the Twitter. Give it away an Amazon gift card. And you can do whatever you want with it. So go ahead. Follow us. Very simple. Very simple to join the giveaway. Tuesdays, obviously, like you said, me and CJ doing this, 9 Eastern, breaking down everything in the football world. And then Thursday, I got Backstop Banter with Michael Lawson as well, breaking down everything in the baseball world. We got the playoffs going on right now. The Red Sox have advanced. The Astros have advanced. The Braves have advanced. And now we got the Dodgers and Giants looking like they're probably going to go to a Game 5 as it's 4-0 right now for the Dodgers. So a lot of things to talk about over there in the baseball world. Can't wait to get into all that. My Twitch is Anthony _ Conover as well. So make sure you check everything out. Subscribe to the YouTube over at Unwrapped Sports Network. We're only 3 away from 100. So obviously we'd love to reach that mark as well. But with all that being said, CJ, another great episode. Like you said, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We appreciate the comments. And we will see you guys.